Jon Stewart. You guys have to stop mentioning Jon Stewart. You know, the guy's really been pissing me off lately, by the way. Obama had aura. No, well, actually, that might be a good example. For a little bit, he actually did. That is true, yeah. It just didn't translate into anything. But that is true. There was a period of time where he had aura, for sure. For 100% in 2008, he had aura. Up until the midterms, basically. Though, nah, before the midterms, because he kowtowed pretty early on. I don't know. Like, it seems like Jon Stewart has been playing the enlightened centrist bit way the too much lately. Remember when I showed you guys, because a lot of you were like 5 years old, I showed you his like march to restore sanity, where in an environment where the Democrats were being weak, but the Republicans were being actively obstructionist, he marched out there and he was like, shouldn't we all get along? Isn't it just a crazy world or whatever? And he literally posted this clip, okay, or the Daily Show did. I mean, he didn't personally. I think what the media has done over the past 10 years is cry wolf to the point where they numbed everyone. Jon Stewart explains his POV on whether to call Trump fascist. This is unironically fascist apologia. Trump was always a fascist. Whether or not he was ideologically a fascist is irrelevant. It was the byproduct of his neuroses. It wasn't they didn't cry wolf enough. In the run-up to 2016, the media mostly treated him like a joke. They didn't take him seriously enough. And then during his presidency, the only reason he didn't do more harm was because there were so many people in his own administration holding him back, you know? Adults in the room, neocons, people who were aware of how bad what Trump was doing was, you know?
What do you say to your critics who are saying that you're being light on the fascist message recently?
Oh, I tell my critics, shut up. You're a fascist. No. So
copyright audio, copyright video.
Because I understand the desire, but like I'm very big on, and I know it's annoying, but specificity and nuance. And I think if you cry fascism at every administrative overreach, even the ones that are constitutionally okay, you will find yourself out of fascism bullets. When the time really comes.
This is, you could literally make this argument about presidential military action without congressional approval. Oh, well, you know, the president has the constitutional authority to deploy the military in emergency times, which can be contingent upon designation as a terrorist organization. So actually, like, the fact that the president no longer needs congressional approval to declare war, that's actually fine. Like, this is pathetic. It's pathetic.
To remind people of, because you will, I think what the media has done over the last 10 years is cry wolf to the point where they know.
Saying this when the right completely controls the media, when Fox News is by far the largest like news show and independent media has been completely broken in by the right to the point where the oligarchs who own social media are literally just attending Trump events and palling around with them.
Numbed everybody.
I know it's super quiet. I'm sorry. That's the clip they posted.
It was an anesthetic. And it got to where, what was the thing they litigated throughout this campaign? He's a fascist, he's a terrible person. Democracy is on the ballot. Guess what lost at the ballot? If you told us democracy is on the ballot, well, democracy got its ass kicked.
Like, what is the point here? The Democrats mounted ineffective resistance, so they should have been even less effective? Like, the Democrats did a bad job pushing back against Trump, so as a consequence, like, we were wrong to call him a fascist? What does that even mean?
By a majority vote. So I'm very cautious about when to know, like, yeah, hopefully I won't do it the night after Kristallnacht. I'll get it like, but it's like, when do you put your dog down? Like, it's one of those things, like, you're not quite sure. But I do understand how annoying.
Wasn't this about aura? Does being wrong negate aura now? Well, I'm mostly talking about him being wrong, but also the way in which you're wrong can negate aura, yeah. This isn't like a sturdy, principled position. This is weak kowtowing. It's pathetic. He used to have more aura. I think he's right in the sense that right-wing media has cheapened those words, but he didn't say that, though. That would be the opposite of the point that he made, you know? Yes, I did hear Bill Burr, seemingly the only stand-up comedian who isn't a Hitlerite.
People that are struggling out there because of these f***ing billionaires, and they got us all arguing liberal and conservative. We got to stop doing that. Like, I am so tired of hearing about people going to bed worried about what's going to happen next week. There is so much f***ing money in this country, and there's so much work being done, you know. And if you work a full f***ing week at a job, you should be able to pay your fucking rent. You shouldn't have to go out and get a fucking job and still be struggling.
What's he saying with the beeps? Not
It's
bad
bad
words,
for the
I hope.
country. Because then the kids don't see their parents and they're not getting the upbringing that they need. It's so fucking, these fucking billionaires.
He's just saying beep? Oh.
They need to be put down. You know, like fucking rabid dogs. They're like rabid with greed and just going out and just...
Unironically, the energy that Democrats need to adopt. You know, maybe they can cut it a little bit to the, you know, the needs of censors, but like, yeah, essentially. By the way, it's not like Republicans don't do this. Republicans take this kind of messaging except with like trans teachers in elementary schools or whatever. Now that's aura. That is aura. 100%, yeah. He also defended Luigi. Based. The Democrats kneecap Bernie. You think they'd allow this rhetoric, though? Corvos, here's the thing you have to understand, okay? It doesn't matter what they allow. You just have to do it. Super delegates are a thing still. Yeah, and? Just keep at it. Just keep... I mean, what's your suggestion then? We just die forever? We rot? Crows pick our eyes out of the ground? What are you talking about? Oh, the Democrats are internally biased against progressives. Yeah, I know. We're aware. What are you going to do? Become not progressive so you can win? Ken Martin put out a memo to Democrats about something. I'm bored already. What is this? Who gave me this? BGL? What is this? Ken Martin sent a memo to all elected Democrats saying unions must be the backbone of our fight, Vosh. Pretty base, worth a read. Where are the pictures? Yeah, single space? Lamau? What the do you mean Lamau? You think I'm joking? Bottom line, in his first term, Donald Trump relentlessly pursued policies that harmed working families, but his first month back in office proves he was just getting started. Trump and his billionaire backers are hell-bent on attacking working families and dismantling the unions to protect workers in order to enrich themselves. As Democrats, it is our responsibility to stand up for the working people, unite behind the kitchen table issues that connect us all. As I take over chair of the DNC, union workers and labor leaders will be the core to my decision-making. As Trump wages his war on working families, Democrats will fiercely answer the call to my favorite old union song. Which side are you on? I'll tell you what, Democrats are on the side of the worker. We will show Americans every day that workers do in fact have more power than any billionaire. That's nice. I like that. The messaging divide, however, that's the important one. The messaging divide's the important one. Like here, you have the point, right? But how do you do it? That's the difficult part. I fundamentally believe our party is grounded in the values, principles, and aspirations of the working class. My take is that, like Biden, he will be the best of my lifetime and still not be able to meet the moment. Yeah, because like being pro-working class is one thing, but it's about like the messaging strategy. It's about how you approach people. It's about how you get that out there. And again, like none of this means anything unless it's bound to get. You need a binding agent, like with making cake batter, okay? And the binding agent here needs to be hatred and mockery and scorn, okay? Enough of the kitchen table politics bullshit. Enough of the hey, we've got the better policy bullshit. No one gives a fuck about policy, okay? What people want is narratives, main characters, big bombastic moments, okay? We want big dramatic speeches. We want, you know, ships capsizing, planes falling from the sky, tumultuous weather events. We want shit happening. We want stories. Every day there needs to be a new miracle, a new disaster. We want hype and we want aura moments, essentially. I want every Democratic politician aura farming nonstop, okay? I want every single one of them posing in the you had to give it to them, you know, hands clasped across the crotch pose every time there's a camera on them. All the time. And they need to dress better. Start smoking cigars in public, you know? Do your best Al Capone cosplay. I don't give a shit. Aura farm. Yep, it's DEI or DIE. Anytime I say, people look at me and go, but the polling said the Dems wanted to go more moderate. Shoot me, Voss, shoot me. Yeah, and imagine if Republicans listened to polling data. We might not be on the brink of total nationwide collapse right now. Sorry, Mr. Trump, it's 2021 and we've done some polling and it turns out that the Republicans and Americans broadly don't actually want anything you're proposing. And then they went and did it anyway. And then they won. I don't actually think people would like an unelected half a trillionaire cutting up the government with unilateral authority and no oversight, cutting Social Security and Medicaid. Who cares? They did it anyway. Or a farm. Don't poll the people on what they want. The people are stupid. Don't ask them whether or not they want more moderate Dems. If they wanted more moderate Dems, then why the does the average Democrat, why does the average American vote for referendum policies to the left of what the Democrat politicians offer? Why is it that Medicare for All is more popular than the Democrats who push it, or pushed it, depending on, you know, how opportunist they wanted to be at that given point in time? The voters are stupid, so treat them like they're stupid. Don't pretend that they're not. Don't expect them to follow the news. Don't expect them to be familiar with the ins and outs of policies. Hype farm. Aura. We want aura. I want personality cults. I want people wearing DNC merchandise as a daily wear. They have their MAGA hat. Okay. Have Butch walking around downtown Chicago with official branded DNC carabiners or whatever. Okay? Aura. Woke socks. Precisely. Yeah, I remember the polls when everyone wanted us to pull out of Afghanistan, and then Biden did, and his approval ratings collapsed and never recovered. Yeah, I remember. Carabiners. Yeah. I wouldn't know. Sorry, I'm not a lesbian. Though I yearn like they do sometimes, because I'm a different kind of guy. Bring your 2016 Feel the Burn t-shirts out. I want people treating their preferred politicians, you know, like with the personality cult, basically. Like this. There's a Bernie Sanders staffer who's aura farming with a gorgeous, I'm going to say, cavalry twill, navy blazer, white Oxford cloth button-down shirt, classic chinos, and a gigantic campaign sticker across the laptop. He's got the Bernie hat. We need everyone looking like this, but for whoever's running in 2028 all the time. Not just college campuses, okay? This shit needs to be everywhere. Bring wokeness back. Could fascism be used for good? What the f*** are you saying? Could Hitler be used for good if you pointed him at landlords instead of Jews? What are you talking about? Fascism? No? We need everyone dressed like this. Do you think I'm joking? Do you think I'm making a joke? Do I seem like I'm joshing to you? It's the era of populism. That means aura, that means personality cults, okay? Democrats need to be hogging the camera all the time they have, okay? Everything they can do. How can we possibly win if we don't, if the Democrats don't inspire so much faith in the population that people aren't walking around wearing their merchandise all the time? So we need to primary every single Democrat. Trump didn't need to primary all the neocons. A lot of them fell into line once it became clear that Trump was the top dog. I think that would happen with a lot of Democrats. Right now, they listen to their consultants. They listen to the inner circle of the DNC. If some real populists started making real waves, I think a lot of them would end up kowtowing. But it's going to take a lot of work. We need to bring the FDR parade float back. That's what I mean. We need this for our 2028 candidate. And it's not going to be Kamala fucking Harris. That's a... You know, now that I'm looking at it blown up, rather than just like on my phone screen or whatever, that's a really good bust. Like, that's actually a really high quality sculpt. This is not like some 2-bit thrown together thing. Like, an artist really crafted the shit out of this. It's actually life-sized. Yeah, of course. Where's the rest of the guy? Well, he was famously disabled. Democrat branding is generally really lame. I can't imagine a version of it that isn't just blue MAGA. Remember Jeb? Yeah. Yeah, the blue MAGA shit's not gonna work. You need to, like, develop an authentic meanness that isn't just like a pale reflection of what the other side offers. For one, and one really important thing to remember is that the right is actually, like big pundits, are these sniveling, disingenuous nitwits who like take off the mask when they're done with their program and go home to like, you know, their mistress or whatever. Like they're not really putting their backbone into it because they're dickless cowards. There's no actual like bravado in what they do. Same with their politicians. Elon has an incredibly thin ego. So does Donald Trump. You know, remember Tucker Carlson getting confronted in that restaurant? You remember that shit? This guy, he's a Nazi on screen to the biggest audience in the world, and then some guy in a coffee shop is like, "Hey, f you, man," and Tucker Carlson's like, "Me? Me? A birthday boy like me? What do you mean, me? What did I do? I did nothing." Like, they're massive pussies. So you don't want to reflect that. The only reason they get away with it is because they have so much capital backing them up. You need real meanness. We called them Bernie bros, and the DNC tried to shut them down. Because the biggest insult people like Hillary Clinton have for energetic populist young men is to call them men. How did bro become an insult? I guess I do the same with tech bros, but I'm not really accusing tech bros of being aggressively masculine. If anything, I'm kind of doing the opposite. I'm kind of saying, like, tech bros are, you know, dickless. Who is aura currently in the Dems? Nobody in the Dems has aura right now. The only one in recent memory who did was Fetterman, and we all know how that went. AOC? No, AOC. Stop just saying her name every time, dude. You like AOC. I do too. Stop. Like, Who should be president? AOC? You just saying it because you like her. No, she doesn't have aura. That's not what I'm talking about. Stop making me talk her down every time. Like, I like AOC. You guys put me in a position to shit talk her every time because anytime anyone says anything like, who's a good politician? You all rush to her, but you say it in any case, so even when it's inapplicable, and then I have to talk your asses down. Tim Walz had aura? No, he didn't! Gavin Newsom? Gavin Newsom does have some aura, but he's not our ally. Does Omar have aura? Okay, do you guys know what the word means? Hold on, we might need to start again from first principles. Are you guys just copying words that I say? Yes. Okay. Let's not talk about this anymore. You're just gonna make me mad. You gotta explain aura farming. I'm really sorry, just like, I got complacent there because I spent too long watching Northern Lion videos where his audience has the same basic, like, age bracket as mine. But when he says stuff like aura farming, everyone in his community knows what he means, and nobody in mine does, and it's because you guys came here like politics first, and it's a YouTube, it's a YouTube stream, not a Twitch stream. So like the culture is very different in terms of like what people are engaging with. You're just gonna annoy me, okay? You all need a little more brain rot, otherwise you're not gonna win the culture war, okay?